Hello YouTube, I'm David with the David West channel. Today let's practice bow drill with this 2x6. I'll try to get as many pieces of the kit out of this as possible. I want to tell you about these places on my nose and on my forehead. I've been to the dermatologist, so he took a biopsy right here. We'll know something about that in a couple days. He froze off some tissue right here, so that should be a big old scab here in another couple of days. Just wanted to give you a heads up on that. Let's start splitting this out. I want to see if I can come up with a bow. And that's going to be dependent on how this board splits out. I'm thinking that I might actually use that knot for my bearing block. This is a Smith's diamond stone. A few passes on this fine side, just to get that edge perfect. I don't go for a razor edge. I go for a good sharp working edge. And it's already on there. People think that lumber is very easy to split. Some of the hardest wood that I found to split has been lumber. I can turn that into my bow. All right, this is going to be the hand hole down here. And I got a little bit of a curve cut into it. And this is where I'll cut a slot and put a knot and attach my bowstring. I want to show you that curve that I cut out of it. So let me dress up these edges and these corners and cut my slot in here, and we'll take another look at it. I need a little bit of width, so I'm not cutting straight down. I'm sort of cutting at an angle that way and cutting in an angle this way. And as usual, probably going to need to pull out about 1.5 inches right here to accommodate the thickness of the spindle. And just cinch it down on top of that paracord, and that will hold it. That's my first bow out of 2x material. Happens to be a 2x6 this time. All right, let's go ahead and get the knot that we're going to use for a bearing block. That's it. It's not fat wood, but it's very hard. So it'll make a good bearing block. Can you see the depth? All right, let's go for the Spindle and Fireboard now. I still don't have a good blank for my spindle. I can't get it to split like I want it. I prefer a 5/8 to a 3/4 inch diameter spindle. So here's the fireboard. Let's go for the spindle now. I mean, I could get a spindle out of this. You know, the fat part of that triangle here and here. And I do like that it has this fungus in it. Anytime wood has spalting in it, it is ideal for friction fire. Doesn't matter if it's hand drill, bow drill, spalted wood is what you want. And there's some fungus right here also. I'll go ahead and see what kind of spindle I can make out of this. All right, I am known for this spiel, so I better go ahead and include it. This is the bearing block end. I will come down about an inch, inch and a quarter, bring it to a point, and make sure that that point is on center line. Turn it 90 degrees, and the point should still be on center line. On the hot end, I'll come down 1/4 inch, do facets all the way around. Come up an 1/8 inch, do facets all the way around. Come up a 1/16 inch, do facets all the way around. I have plenty of good fine shavings for the Tinder bundle. And as I so often do, I came down on the diameter from here on up so that I could have a 3/4 inch spindle. Let's get set up on the ground and try everything out. I think it's gonna work, don't you? Let's get set up on the ground and try it out. I like that bow. That bow is a first for me. I got to come down on that diameter That's still too big. You have to work a whole lot harder than you need to when your spindle is big and fat. So that should be easier. And I will go ahead and cut the notch. There's a good bit of difference between this diameter and that diameter. I'm a little bit closer to the edge than I want to be, but let's keep working with it and see what happens.
All right. Let's go for it.
This dust is very, very fluffy, so you run into a whole set of problems with fluffy dust. Sometimes it hangs up on the notch and you have to stop and make it drop down in there with the point of your knife. Sometimes it doesn't want to coalesce properly. Let's just see what we end up with. All right, I took a 2x6, made a bow drill set out of it, and I guess as you could tell, I really love that bow. And of course we made the fireboard and the spindle and the barrel block, which is doing a good job. I guess I can go back and put a point back on here. I want to leave the fire hardened part on there, but cut off the part to where it's shouldered out. And of course we'll use kindling and tinder and fuel wood from where we made the set. Let's see if we have it all figured out. Looks like an ember. Yeah, we got an ember. Good. Let's let it coalesce as usual. Now what you're trying to accomplish with a shavings tinder bundle is to build as big of an ember as you could possibly build before you have to put it in the hobo stove. And that just takes time and patience. Sometimes you just have to admit to yourself that you did not spend enough time processing the materials, making the feathers and the scrapings and the fines. So, if I fail one time, then I have great incentive to push through and try to make it happen the next time. When all I needed to do was stop and make up some feathers and some fines. Let's see if we can get it this time. Cut another divot, do our burn in.
and see what happens. All those good fine feathers right here, ready to accept this ember, and it will make an ember. Making the ember is not the issue on this one, is it? Getting these fines to ignite is a problem. Yep, getting the ember is not the problem, is it? I mean, this would have been a lot easier if I chose to use pine needles or leaves. But shavings for a tinder bundle is usually a great way to go. So that was, I think that was attempt number 6. Alright y'all, do me a favor. Before you leave my channel, please subscribe, hit the notification bell, and in that drop down list, select all. And do give the video a like. I appreciate you joining me on this one. We'll catch you on the next one.